Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I wanted to talk about something that I saw in the news lately, and I wanted to kind of hit on this because I think it's something that brothers need to really understand. They need to hear this story, and just kind of I'll give you some perspectives on it. Basically, I'm reading it out of thegrio.com. It's been reported in a lot of other places, and it basically says that two Florida men were out at different bars on Wednesday night, but reported being drugged and robbed by a woman with a similar description. The first man said he was at the Hillstone restaurant when he met a woman and they began talking and drinking. They went back to his home and continued to drink, and he began to feel lightheaded and suspected he'd been drugged. When he awoke, he was missing his Rolex watch and the woman was gone. The second man was at Morton's restaurant on Ponce de Leon Boulevard, and she also met and started talking with a woman, or he met and started talking to a woman. And they went back to their home and continued to drink. And when he woke up, his Rolex and his gun were all missing. And now this is an interesting story to me. It means something to me because I wanted to talk to the brothers about this, and it's something I would naturally talk to my daughters about. But I think men need to listen to this too. You got to realize you're in a different day and age now. This is not the first time I've heard stories like this. I remember when I was at AOL Black a rape charge against a prominent NFL player. And in the midst of writing these articles that were going out to a lot of people, I got a message from somebody, and I went ahead and took the phone call from this lady, and I believed her. I really believe she told me some interesting stories about with some women that she knew who basically had a hustle. Their hustle was they would look for athletes and rappers and rich guys who had money, and they would seduce them, take them back to the hotel, promise them sex or whatever, and drug them. And when they drugged them, they would now in this particular case, the weakness they took advantage of was they knew that these athletes, and this is important to understand, they knew that these athletes have a very low guard when it comes to beautiful women. They knew that these athletes pretty much trusted any pretty girl that walked up to them. And as a result, they would take these guys home and have a couple drinks, put something in his drink. He's knocked out, and they would put him in bed with a young girl. There was a young girl in the group, about 15. These girls were like teenagers, actually, 15 to 19 years old. And they had fake IDs and everything, right? So they would put the 15-year-old in the bed with the guy and take pictures. And when he woke up, they would say, "We got these pictures of you in the bed with an underage minor. You're going to go to prison. And also, we're going to send these pictures to your wife, to your team, and to the media." And so basically, they would extort them for maybe $10,000, $15,000. It wasn't a lot of money, I guess, if you're rich, but it was definitely disturbing for the people that went through this. And they would just play this game over and over and over again and get away with it because these guys would just think that they were always the ones in control. And what I think men should understand is that you're not always the one in control. You no longer live in an era where women can't scheme as much as men do. And we know that men and women have always been scheming on each other. That ain't nothing new. But the schemes really get to a higher and higher level. And men who either are out looking for women or who have a lot that women want, whether it's money or you're famous or whatever it is, you got to be really careful because there are lots of people out here that will take advantage of you. And what they do is they pretty much know that if a pretty girl with a smile walks up to you and she's nice to you, a lot of guys will let their guard down. They'll bring the woman into their apartment. They'll drink with the woman. They don't care. They don't look. They're used to men being the predators, but actually there are women out here who can be predators too. And a lot of it is really funny. I remember fighting with some feminists about this because somehow they felt that by me pointing out female predators that I'm saying that all women are predators, and I never said that. But you're a damn fool if you think that women can't prey on men the same way men sometimes prey on women. In fact, I've seen a lot of even things like false rape accusations. So there's thousands of black men in prison right now for rapes that they did not commit. And I mean, every now and then we'll find a case where somebody will get some DNA evidence and they luck out because a bunch of white kids at some liberal university did 5 years of investigation to go dig up the information. But most of those guys don't get the attention from the Innocence Project and all these other projects that are out here. They just sit in prison. They're going to be in prison until they die. And so, I don't really care what people think. I think it's a matter of talking about what's true and what's not. And you better not. If I had a son, I would tell him, do not go through life thinking that you can't be somebody else's victim. So just be careful. The game is getting real complicated, and everybody has to be watchful. I know with myself, I'm very cautious with things like that. It doesn't mean that we all can't get fooled. So I'm not saying that at all. But just in general, don't think that because she's cute and she's smiling at you that she can't be running like a major game that could easily ruin your life. Even things like one accusation, a false rape accusation. I mean, that could ruin you. That ruin your reputation. Probably cause you to lose your job. Most guys I knew a guy who was accused of rape by a woman who had accused several men of rape in the past. He was actually a friend of mine, and a very good friend. And I didn't know if he did it or not. I didn't know if he was innocent or not because I had to investigate myself. Because anybody could be a rapist. I'd never been around when he was having sex, so I don't know. But when he got accused of rape, they didn't really ask too many questions about it. They just went to his job, put him in handcuffs in front of his employer, brought him out of the restaurant where he worked in front of everybody that saw him every day who didn't know what was going on. They put him in jail. He was in jail for 3 weeks. And he had to drop out of school. He spent every penny he had fighting his legal defense. And eventually, he said when he was in jail, it was like a week and a half before he was even able to get a towel to take a shower. And eventually, he hired a private investigator. The private investigator found out that this woman had falsely accused 5 other men of rape in the last 3 years alone. But what's interesting is that nobody ever brought charges against her. Nobody ever sued her, and I don't know why. But once this was unearthed, the court said, okay, sorry, we were wrong. Good luck. You're free. That's what we're giving you. Our gift to you is your freedom. And they didn't give him his $3,000. That money up. That was like a life savings for him. They didn't give him back his semester in school or to give him back his life. They didn't give him back his reputation. He didn't get back that job. His life was basically ruined. So, in general, what I would just say is, guys, just be real careful about who you laying down with, what women you let into your life. A lot of people think that because a girl is pretty, you're supposed to just be down to do whatever. And I'm telling you, there's some treacherous stuff out here, and you just got to be really careful. So, hopefully, you'll run into the good ones, not the bad ones, but the bad ones are out there. So, anyway, that's all I want to share with you. This was really a message for anybody that has a black man in their life that they care about. Also for the brothers out there, of course, and for everybody. I love if you have stories or anything that you've seen like this that you want to share. This is a learning experience. Feel free to write it in the comments and tell the story. Don't mention any names or anything, but just talk about it because I think young guys need to know this because what happens, unfortunately, is that a lot of guys learn it after it's too late. They learn the lesson the hard way after they've been prosecuted for, on a false charge or after they've been drugged and robbed or whatever. And they just don't know. So let's make sure these young guys know so they can make good decisions. That's it. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless. Have a great day. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.